So the next thing I want to cover is some of the key reports in Mevo. Again, some of them could actually be created as tiles to get to very quickly. And then we're also going to cover client selection export, where I can actually export client information for marketing, for text messaging, and other things in a very quick, meaningful way without having to be a data scientist. So we're going to start with the most obvious report, Bob and Steve, which is, we call it the MA200. You can actually just type a report number into the combo bar and it'll find it. It's an employee key performance indicators. We're going to run that for about a year so we get some meaningful information out of it. And then we're going to just do summary page only at first, so we can kind of see the team level stuff. And you can even decide on how many months do you look for a return visit. You know, productivity is going to be based on the default service time, the employee specific time, or what was actually booked in the appointment book.
That's what mine would be run on, John. You would use the appointment specific time for my salon. Do I have to?
Yeah, that's the one I like, because that's the reality of what was booked. I might have overridden the employee specific time. This way it's, hey, what's in the book? So let's just go in there and run that report and take a look at what Mevo is doing. And it's doing a lot over that year. You're going to see the section.
There's a lot of data.
Your productivity, your service. In one page, I can coach, and Steve could coach a salon on this one page of data.
It's the Mevo report card, man.
It is.
Right?
Take over, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, this report in itself has every single thing that you could want or need. There's so many coaching opportunities that are right at your fingertips of where your business is at and what needs to change to make it better. Of course, you know, you've got the productivity and the hours for sale and things like that here. These are clocked in time versus, you know, scheduled time. So again, you're able to see see where, and again, you know, we have some things about that, but the productivity is a huge indicator for anybody's business, their utilization of their hours. And you know, who wouldn't want to know that? When now we're getting into sales and this idea, I mean, they broke it down into where you've got unique clients, you've got unique repeat clients, all the way to new. I mean, there isn't one thing in here. Yes, there's not one thing in here. How many people always ask, like, well, how many clients do we have? Like, how many clients? You know, so you can take a look on there of the client count that's there. It's going to give you service and retail totals, but it's going to give you all those other key indicators that we talked about earlier, which is pre-book, retention, a retail, whether it's unit sales, average ticket, what percentage clients purchasing. I had mentioned that earlier. It's going to show you that everything is here. Everything is here. It's going to tell you new client retention. It's going to give you existing client retention. It's going
over
to give
a period of time.
That's right. So again, in this instance, because of the way that he checked the check boxes in the initial report setting, this one's going back 90 days. So 3 months is where this is checking. And what you can do is, right now it's showing for January through November, and it's checking the times, you know, in that other segment. So again, checking it month by month, I would say, John, isn't that really what you would want to do for that particular retention over time? But but this is looking at those key metrics that we talked about. But I mean, there isn't one thing in here that we don't use at strategies that allow us to have great reporting.
Well, Steve, you had talked about percent of clients buying retail. Here you go, about 24 plus, so 1 out of 4. You know, those are the things you're looking at. You know, percent retail to total, percent retail to service. Obviously, we know this number needs a lot of work. Bob knows that. He would tell you that.
I'm coming out of a tough time.
Hey, Bob, if you only work on the recommendation, that's all you need.
Dude, I can't get staff.
100%.
That's a whole nother conference, man.
100% recommendation. And I got a tool for you. It's called our happiness system, and I'd be happy to sit after this to show you how to use it to improve.
I need help, Steve.
I promise. I promise. I will.
All right, let's look at another report. Man, the analytical reports, I mean, it's just, you could be a kid in the candy store here, and we all are. So let's look at a couple things. One is, I really am excited that we got into innovating again in the industry. You know, we brought a lot of these KPIs to industry in the 90s. You know, a lot of software has it now, but it started with Millennium, and that's a fact. And people like strategies, quite honestly, and me working with Neil early on. But one of the things that I'm excited about is we are the only software that has a retention projection. I can't fix the retention being bad in August when I'm deciding that in November, but I can fix December and January today, right? If I can predict what that retention is based on the appointment book and the register, man, how powerful is that? Look, no parameters. You just click run report. Watch this. This is showing the retention for November. It was 27%, about 28% for new client retention, industry average around 35%, and then repeat around 82%, industry average is around 75%. So that's really good. But then if we look here, it's breaking down for December, January, and February. We're in the, for full disclosure, we're a week before Thanksgiving right now, November. I know right now how many new clients are projected to be retained, how many new clients are retained, and how many new clients have no appointments on the book and therefore not going to be retained. And here you go. December is at 55%, January is at 29%. February, oddly, is at 33%, better than January on new client retention. Repeat client retention, December's at almost 80% already. Awesome. January, hey, there's some repeat people we need to get on the book. And obviously February, you know, being 3 months out, we've got plenty of time to fix that. But this is what's great. I know what's happening before it happens. Retention has always been a rear view mirror statistic that you could do nothing about. August sucked. Now I'm in November. What am I going to do? Right? I love it. This is the stuff that we're about, and I'm glad we're innovating again.
100%. Again, when I talk to you guys about the importance of pre-booking, that's what this is. That report was pre-booked appointments that someone made an appointment. That's what that is in real time. It's showing you that future revenue ultimately is coming in through the retention piece. Those are invaluable.
All right, I'm going to run one of Bob's favorite reports.
That's my favorite one.
MA225. MA225 allows you to compare today to yesterday. I could compare today to same day previous month, same day previous week, same day previous year, or a specific date, right? But
John, so
go in there.
Yeah, do this year compared to a specific date, because 2020 is no real good data there, and then go to do a specific
year.
Yeah, go to 19, and then you can actually select to have all employees show up as well, or
right.
So you hit on report. I love this report. It's one of my, when you created this one, I was like, this is exactly what I want.
And how fast was that?
Look at everything. Look at everything that's on here.
Yeah.
This is real data in real live production. You see how fast that report rendered. With all this data, I'm getting how many unique clients we saw in 2021 and how many we saw in 19. We're up about 4%. We're up about 5% in new clients. Sales over here, I've got how many quantity of service sales, service sale dollars. Quantity, again, 19 versus 2021. We're only at November, and this goes all the way through December. I could have done year to date.
The date, yeah, that's what you want to do, is year to date in that one. And it would compare apples to apples. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, you got the gist of it.
Yeah, but then your average tickets, right? I was at $80.61 in 19. Now I'm at $83.86. I'm up 4% on average ticket. This report is like, this is, Bob asked for this report so many times I got tired of hearing about it. So we finally wrote it, and you know, he's not wrong. This is stuff that's meaningful.
It's just real time.
The only way it happens is if you got to work for John for 20 years.
Yeah. But for me, this is like, it gives you the pulse of your business really quick. Again, being mobile on my phone, I can see how do we do this year compared to last year, this date compared to last date. Then I can break it down to the employees. How are my employees doing this year individually?
Right.
And so on and so on.
But again, as I keep saying, that data is only data. It's the things that you do with it that matter.
Yep.
I mean, we can figure out.
John, what's my favorite report?
Well, I know one of my favorite reports. It's not here. It's the AQ70, which is your recall report to be able to bring.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is that yours, Steve?
He's stealing my report because I always say the AQ070. I always say
that.
That's a great one, man.
So we look at our book, back to Steven saying we're at 90%. We need that other 10%. Who are the people we need to fill up our book this week or next month, whatever it is. So in this case, I'm going to say this week. Okay. It's really saying what clients are due in this week. And maybe I really want to focus in on just color clients, right? I don't want to cast a wide net I want to bring in the people most likely to come back and the people most likely to spend the most money. So I'm going to go in there and say, let's go for, there's 23 different services around color. So let's go for this week and find out who's due in appointment recall. We're recalling them for services this week. And then I'm going to take a look, make a comment, and then let Stephen talk about how he uses this thing. It's amazing. So we show you something here. When we first wrote this in Millennium, we didn't have this column. Super important. Why? Maybe they're due in this week, but they actually have an appointment next week. And now you're calling them and they're like, I have an appointment next week.
Whoa.
So by showing you that they have a future appointment for that, you can kind of skip by these people and you look for these. The ones that are blank, that's your low hanging fruit. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get these people in. What do you think, Stephen? Why do you love this report?
Right. So again, remember I talked earlier around the smart centers and around guest service and about how they're profit centers and how, that front desk team is so important to you. This is their go-to report every day. How do I fill appointments and fill gaps on the book? This is the report that you go to first. This
That's
one right here. And as you said, it's already going to show you if they're already booked up. I mean, if they're already, oh yeah, they're coming in next week, or they're already having an appointment on the book. But also, this is also an opportunity for savvy front desk people that if they see an appointment in a few weeks from now, but that frequency of visit, they know they should have been in sooner than that. Like they were booked out by the service provider longer than what it should have been. They can take it upon themselves to call them in and say, hey, I wanted to let you know we do have an availability. You're not calling them. Yeah, I know that you have an appointment already. I just wanted to let you know we had one today. Because also, even if they did have one tomorrow and I needed to fill today, today's more important because it ain't going to be here tomorrow.
Right.
So if I can call them in, if they have later appointments, I can start filling the book today with open appointments or open time that we're trying to sell today.
Yeah. The other thing that, and then we have over 180 reports and meaningful reports that I'm very proud of. And we have so many ideas of more reports and more dashboards and more visual eye candy kind of reports that are coming out. But another one that I wanted to show that you are really, that's really important to both of you, Bob and Stephen. I hear you guys talk about it all the time. Boom, right here.
Yeah.
I want to go in today. I want to find out
Got it.
how did we start the day? Where did we end the day? Bob, why don't you talk a little bit about this? Estimated sales. It's using the appointment book to let me know how I'm doing, how I started my day versus how same day bookings I got and how I ended my day.
Well, that's just it. It shows you everything that happens throughout the day. I'll always use Kathy as an example. And her estimated sales was 905. She may have had a cancellation. She may have had people added to the book. I had one employee that, she kept losing. I found an employee actually stealing from me, by the way, with this report. I mentioned this to John years ago. Her book was estimated sales would say $1,000. She wound up with 500. She was canceling the appointments and having doing them at home herself. So I was able to kind of figure that out. But it's really cool. It just shows you all those add-ons. If you really pumping add-ons, you can see who's doing the add-ons, how much you do in add-ons, and add-ons that you started with, add-ons that you ended with. It just gives you a snapshot of everything.
Right. And it also goes back to the no-shows and things, people that aren't, hey, I'm pre-booking really well. Hey, my pre-books are 75, but are they quality people? Meaning, are you doing it? Are you putting them in a headlock and making them pre-book and then they don't show up? Well, it's going to show you somewhere in the data through productivity and other things that, hey, something ain't quite right. You're pre-booking a lot of people, but you ain't busy.
Right.
The sales are affected somewhere. So we're able to kind of take a look at